And next time you are in Alexandria Bay, New York, please visit one of these fine restaurants. Proud sponsor of the
2023 National Championship and your upstate NABLL champions, the Thousand Island Spirits.
Everyone at Skiff's, The Corner, and 1864 would like to wish the Thousand Island Spirits the best of luck at Nationals. It's been a blast having the team as part of our downtown family this season. Don't worry, boys, we'll keep the champagne on ice. Fans, next time you are in Alexandria Bay, New York, please visit one of these fine restaurants. Proud sponsor of the
2023 National Championship and your upstate NABLL champions, the Thousand Island Spirits.
everyone at
And we are live on the weekly NABLL update. We have Rachel. Thank you so much for joining us. The director of the NABLL is how I send the email invites, and Nate Jobson from the Thousand Island Spirits. Rachel, it's been a little while since we've had you on the show. Why don't you go ahead and just give us an update of what happened with the Isotopes and how your NABLL season, was before you get into how you're getting ready for the nationals in a different capacity, essentially.
Sure. I'm full director mode right now, but we had a good season. We brought on a lot of new guys, which kind of seems to happen quite a bit, but they're fantastic. We had tremendous buy-in this year. A couple fumbles. I think we need to work on our defense a little bit. Our offense was cooking, but really for the first year, our region had some extensive travel as a factor, and it was interesting to watch how that played out. We went down to Omaha, 19 guys and me went to Omaha, and we had just a blast. They were a delightful group of guys. We got to hang out with them post game at their sponsor bar and grill, and I'm really excited to have them in our region and also in our league. They have a lot of vision for the future to help strengthen the Midwest. And then Iowa came to us, and we played a doubleheader for that one too. So to start the season off with back-to-back doubleheaders was also really kind of a new and interesting way to do things.
Well, and you guys are normally a home and home team, right? Where you
We
guys
are,
play like
yeah.
one game a week, and it's a much different schedule. So that's a big adjustment for you guys, and kudos to that team for making the trip. So you guys essentially went from what, like a hour distance between all of your arenas to 8.
Oh, not even. When it was just the three of us in Minnesota, unless it's terrible rush hour, Minneapolis is maybe 35 minutes away, and like St. Paul's kind of in between. This year they bopped back between two different rinks, but no, when we were just Minnesota teams, we're very spoiled, and we could do home and home series and travel rosters really weren't a factor. So it's different. It turns out like it was fantastic. I had such a good time with the guys in Omaha, and like they talk about all of like our family road trip. We had a great time. Obviously like we're not going to nationals, so the season didn't exactly end how we had hoped, but it felt like a really good year of building, and I hope that I've anchored some franchise players with some of our new guys that like they bring such a great attitude, great skill, and they're again super young. Like I think I have the youngest team in the league again still. So
Yeah, a lot of
we got time to,
college age players, like
yeah.
in their early 20s, kind of running out there. A lot of field
Eight,
experience, kind of
18, 19.
18, 19. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. So but the Omaha guys are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how young they are, and like and they really hung tough. And so we went out with them afterwards and had just a great time. It was an interesting season. Like there's never any lack of opportunity to learn with the league and with the region and with the team. So I had a great time with my guys this season, and we really just kind of leaned into the weird, and just we don't take ourselves very seriously, and we have a karaoke playlist for practice that is delightfully strange, and so we had a lot of fun,
I mean, that's
and I'm
really
hoping
what
we'll improve.
Yeah, that's really what this league is all about. I mean, you kind of everybody builds their own. It's one of my favorite parts about this league is that everybody's division is completely different. And like I know in Jobson's division, the upstate, it's home and homes. It's a big deal. Like he has the spirit wall on the glass. That's one of my favorite things. It's like a uniquely Thousand Islands thing. I've never seen anybody do that. Nate, would you mind just taking a minute and kind of explaining that for us, if you would? Because I think that is a huge thing, and it really actually ties to the we play with our ancestors kind of, medicine game part of it. Not that you're playing the medicine game, but you are playing a version, way down the road.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, a lot of people know kind of the story and how our team started, and it's just about playing for those who can't anymore. And one day I just had a random idea of, hey, next to our boards, we don't let fans stand there. So what if we did this, and we've, gathered, as you can see behind me, we've gathered a heck of a group of photos of, people that we've lost and people that, we play for. Because, the team is what it is, but, really the whole purpose of why we came together was to honor my brother and some people that I lost, and then, to give that same medicine to others, and this year, sadly, we've had a couple more. My grandfather passed away a couple weeks before the season started. And then one of our players, his mom passed away 1 week before the week we played Seneca Lake, and he scored 7 goals that night. Scoring the first goal and pointing up at the sky, and the news caught it, and it was a really special moment for him. And it just reminds you why we play the game, and I love it. It's an honor, and glad I thought of that idea, I guess.
No, I love it. It's honestly one of my favorite things about when I see your social media post is I think it really helps. It's a spot, and I mean, depending on what your beliefs are, it kind of fits so many of them. I mean, it's just a way to honor the people from the past and a way to get them there to see it, depending on how you believe. And no, it's just like I say it all the time. It's one of my favorite things about what you're doing up there. You've built a great community. You've introduced box lacrosse. I'll never forget that day we walked up there and there was 70 little kids out on the floor just going nuts, and first time they've ever been on turf in an ice rink, and it was just such a cool experience. But they talk about the best things in life aren't free. They do take a lot of work and a lot of money, but they are definitely not free. And those are the experiences that, like, I love walking in there, getting to see almost 80 kids. It was, doing it, and now we are getting ready for nationals. Rachel's gotten to take a ton of young men, gotten them a bunch of great box experience going to get up against they've got a perennial powerhouse in the division, which obviously they're trying to change things. But speaking of which, Nate, you guys had a very good upstate division. You haven't lost since the championship last year, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
So congratulations on that. Congratulations on making it to the upstate. We're going to get into it pretty soon, but I mean, unofficially, the power rankings, I would, I think it's the Wild, the Spirit, Seattle Kings, the Wheat Kings, the Ignite, the Grizzlies, the Reapers, the Collar City Kings, the Scorpions, and the Nor'easters. So I mean, when you talk about the power rankings, I think the Wild deserve to be one. They have not lost yet, and I just don't think it's fair to drop them until anybody proves otherwise. The Spirit, you guys obviously proved throughout your season that you deserve to be two. You played a couple out of division games. Or was it just Paper City, or how many did you guys play out of?
We played Paper City twice at the beginning of the year when they were ranked number 6 in the country and we were 2. So
Still a
um,
very great team. They're doing great things there, building a youth
yeah,
program.
they finished second. They finished second in their division. They had the run this weekend. I watched them. I obviously support those guys. They started when I did, and we, I believed in them last year and told them they could beat those guys and make it. And they came up a little short this year, but Cambridge is a very good team. So it'll be fun to have someone different at nationals, because other than them, everyone else is the same.
Yeah, no,
That
it's
is
the yeah, exact same lineup. So Rachel, you looking at it from the director standpoint, you look at the way the Nationals has played out a couple times. You've seen it. What are you expecting this Nationals to be? We've got a new team with the Nor'easters. We saw how Paper City did last year. You've seen these teams now kind of year in, year out. What are you expecting out of Nationals? The same as last year, where it kind of, I mean, a lot of these are close games.
I expect to see close games again. I think that even though the teams that are represented are wildly similar, the personnel has changed, and I think we've seen some of them contested on a different level than we have in the past. some have lost and gained key players, and like, I mean, that's why we play, right? If we were just going to crown the same winner, then we wouldn't waste our time. But I think that like the Spirits and the Oaks have shown that, you know, you can start a new team, and you can come in strong. Somebody asked me if I was disappointed in the lineup, and I was like, no, if that's how it happens, that's how it happens. But that doesn't mean that you quit. Doesn't mean you give up and you don't keep trying to make your way there. There were some upsets along the way in a lot of different regions, and like, I'm excited to see Cambridge play. I know like they're not a new team to box at all, so that region was really like kind of one of the most exciting to watch, because they really kind of passed that lead around a little bit, and also they're very funny, and so I'm
Yeah, and
very
it
excited
also
to meet them.
no, like you said, I mean, when you talk about parity amongst the division, though, it seems to be from my outside perspective is that division is the most up for grabs going into the championship. I mean, you talk about a lot of these teams and everybody, you know, can win on any given night. That's why we play the games. But watching that division and you just see the way the stats break down, that is I think every year that division could send somebody different, and I wouldn't, you know, be surprised at all. I mean, so Jobson, now you're going into second year in nationals. What are you bringing in from? I mean, this is basically home court. I guess we should tell everybody how far is so A Bay or Alex Bay is where you guys play, Alexandria Bay, but it's what, about 2 hours?
Yeah, I would say it's a couple hours away. You know, and half my players are from the Watertown area, half my players are from Akwesasne area. I have some from the Syracuse area, I have some in Rochester, a couple in Buffalo. So like for pretty much everyone, and then I have a couple Canadian guys too on the other side of the border. Um, so yeah, it's within a few hours. I mean, Akwesasne, it's a longer trip because there's like no straight way to get there.
Got to get across,
Buffalo
yeah.
is right down I-90, so that'll be easier for those guys.
Rochester and Syracuse is close. I mean, you're driving home
Yeah.
every night, no problems, no matter what
I
time
mean,
you're playing.
Albany is probably I mean, honestly, Albany, it's Collar City. It's more home for them as far as
Yeah, no,
probably distance.
Collar
Um,
City is less than an hour, depending on where you
yeah,
live there.
it's
If you're on this side of the city of Albany, you're less than an hour. If you're on the other
it's
side, you're
probably
like an
less.
hour and 20.
It's probably less than they travel for their weekend games.
It's less
Honestly,
than it's less
I
than a
mean,
trip to Philly or Newburgh, actually.
yeah.
Well,
So I
now
mean,
Newburgh might be pretty close to them, but it's definitely less than a trip to Philly or Long Island.
they're probably pretty excited that it's close for them. So
Yeah, I mean they're 40 minutes from me, so if I get down there and then it's yeah, no, I basically have to head to them before I turn to go west. I have to go a little south, but yeah, no,
yeah,
that is actually I didn't even think about that, and I don't know why. So that is
yeah,
something,
they're the closest ones,
and
really.
honestly, with the way they have not traveled well to nationals, that could be the sleeper pick of the nationals, really, because I mean, with that kind of commute, there's really no excuse for most of those guys not to be there. I'm excited. I'm hoping Deej is still the goalie. I honestly have not been able to pay much attention to you know, any of the other divisions other than when we go through the show. So I mean, I saw the scores, but I
Yeah,
didn't really go through the rosters. So
sure.
I,
I
I
mean,
I can't wait.
for me personally, you know, it's sort of a home game because you know I've obviously spent time in Utica. I went to college in Utica. I started in the NABLL with Utica. Without Utica, none of this happens. Like even you sitting there. So like
No, there's
you know, I owe a lot to that organization and the city, and I'm super excited that Nationals is there. Like for me, it's very surreal because like, you know, August 26, 2022, I won an upstate championship with the Utica Yeti. And you know, and then we had to head to Ohio for Nationals. And then now championship Sunday is on August 25th, 2024. So within the span of 2 years, currently we have three, you know, upstate championships, which is crazy. And now three national appearances. So like it's been a really wild ride just for me personally. Um, so like
well,
it's
and
very exciting.
going basically from a player to the GM, and I mean, this was your first being a your first time being a GM of a club team. Like you coach youth sports, you coach youth lacrosse. What is it, middle school and high school?
Yeah, I coach in an organization called the 1812 Cannons. They're a travel program. And they do all the like pretty much all the way up
All
to
yeah.
senior. I do 6th grade. I do in the middle. And then I coach a varsity high school team, a Catholic school locally in Watertown. And then, I've put like, teams together for tournaments and stuff like summer leagues, but nothing quite like what the NABLL is and what this is. And, the one message is it is pretty easy to start a team. So like, if there is people watching, it's not that hard. And if you talk to the right people, there's a lot of people in the organization that'll help you get started. I've talked to organizations myself trying to help. I've had people reach out to me, and I'm willing because it's not that hard. And I think the growth of the league is awesome. I think there's 40 teams this year in 10 divisions, something like that.
Over 40, yeah.
Yes, which is amazing. Last year there was high 30s, and the year before it was less than that. So I think, and then I see all these Instagram posts of, these teams that say NABL 2025, like, which is pretty cool because
we already have a good handful knocking at the door.
yeah,
great segue.
awesome. Yeah, the league. That's the thing is the league itself is, without any of this, nothing happens, and the growth is awesome. And I see it in social media too. Like I post a lot, obviously, but like I'm getting new people from all over, and I have teams that reach out, and it's really cool for box lacrosse and American box lacrosse specifically.
Yeah,
For
no,
sure.
definitely this side of the border. So Rachel, going into year 3, year 1, building the plane. Year 2, you're still kind of honing that plane together. Year 3, now you've kind of got an idea of how it flies. We're going into Utica Yeti territory with Paul Decker kind of, I'm sure, helping with some of the logistics. It makes things way easier on my end because I'm a 2-hour trip instead of a, multi-hour, where I have to get out of the car. I can actually almost make Utica with only one rest stop. I can sometimes do it with none, but no, I got to get out of the car every hour. So unfortunately, it'll be a one rest stop trip. But what do you, I guess, most like going into your 3rd year, what are you most expecting to see as a 3rd year program that maybe we didn't have the 1st year? I mean, I know locker rooms is a huge thing, but what are some of the
Well,
other things?
I solemnly swore they'd have showers, and they have showers. I promised them as they were walking out the door from Chicago that they would have showers, and she delivered. Um, so non-negotiable showers. No one has to go home smelly. I know that it's a fabulous facility, and I know that a lot of people are pretty excited to be there. They've been great to work with, but again, like the previous venues have been great to work with as well. So I always promise the facility people that they'll behave as gentlemen when they're not playing lacrosse. And so far that has been sparklingly true. Like everyone's been super cool off the floor. What
I'm
happens on
looking
the floor we deal with
Yeah,
the
no,
refs.
I'm really looking forward to having that bar near where we were streaming because we get to kind of hang out with people. So that was a huge thing the first year in nationals, though, is the teams had a spot where everybody could hang out as they were watching the games. I mean, yes, it's a bar, but it's a lounge. They've got great food. They've got sodas in case anybody doesn't drink, and more than that, it's a spot to be able to kind of hang out and gather. I mean, that's probably what I'm looking most forward to is getting to actually see everybody again this year. Last year we were kind of isolated. Charity was on the scaffold. It was like, oh no,
Yeah.
she couldn't
Yeah.
get too far away. But no, I think you guys absolutely nailed the facility. I don't know if there is a better box lacrosse facility in the country right now.
There's probably not, which makes me a little nervous because then where are we going to go next year? But let's just focus on this year and have a great time. Last year went so well, and I had so much fun. Feeling a little more comfortable in the role. Like I think nationals is the most fun that I have all year, and I'm excited to see people that I've developed friendships with that I only get to see once a year. So I am so excited to go and just have a great weekend of lacrosse and community, which is arguably the best point of all of this is the community that we have here. So I look forward to like more of the same, being a little more comfortable, knowing the flow. I yes, year 1 was a little bit of like shell shock just because like, oh my gosh, here we go. We're going to do this and it's going to be fine. And it was fine. And it was great. But then year 2, everything went really beautifully. And so, yeah, I'm looking for more of the same with year 3. And I already like have so many exciting plans for the off season. We've been having to pump the brakes because we're like, no, we got to finish nationals, but like there's so much excitement over a huge variety of things. But Nate had mentioned, if anyone's watching that wants to start a team, we already have like 6 teams that are like legitimately ready to go for 2025, and I think they'll help diversify some geography. I know like that's a problem in some places, and I think that will actually shrink some travel for some people. I will get to break up some squabbling siblings, which I'm excited about for me. um and give a little bit of variety. Like maybe then it's not the same 10 teams, maybe it's the same 6 teams, and we see some new flavor injected. But if that's who wins, that's who wins, and again, that's why we play. If we just awarded who was good on paper, then we wouldn't need to go. So I'm so excited about nationals. And then I feel like I get to my hotel room on Sunday night and I'm like, oh man, I got to write notes before I forget all this, because like there's so many like good ideas and sparks that happen from conversations there that I feel like I need to write it all down so we can digest it over the months to come.
Yeah, and the comments afterwards are very helpful, I know, but everybody likes to talk about great ideas. If you actually put them down and send them in an email, I promise they might not get back to you that day, but they will get back to you soon, especially if you email them during nationals. Not going to, but they will take into account if you email them. I just really quick did want to run through the divisions and kind of talk about some of the teams that we don't get to see, but the Ohio Coyotes and the Detroit Hooligans, we had a chance to get the Hooligans on. That was an awesome discussion, and to learn like his pro level and stuff with, it's always amazing to me where some of this talent ends up. Like you have some of these guys that are down playing with the Scorpions and the New Orleans team, like how those guys ended up there going. Hopefully we will get to meet the New Orleans guys and the Dallas Defenders soon. We got to see the Austin Scorpions, and again, congratulations to them. But right here was a brand new team with the Long Island Sharks in Collar City. It looks like they kind of took off with their division a little bit, but it wasn't like the games were blowouts. They were close games. They just happened to win every one. But kudos to the Long Island Sharks making it through a year. As we know, the PBLA didn't even survive their first season. So kudos, Long Island. You beat them. And in the Mid-Atlantic. So watching this one, guys are getting close to the Westminster Wild. The Golden Bears had it within, I think, 2 goals in one of the game. Got to
They
meet
went
it.
to overtime in one game.
Yeah, so overtime, and I got to meet a Maryland Arrow playing for the Tuscarora Junior Tomahawks. So kudos to Scott Joyner, made a young man, or gave a young man a chance to play box. That young man's now playing with Darius Kilgore and Randy Chrysler, some legends of the sport. So it all started with the NABLL. Huge shout out to Scott Joyner. He's with Team England Women, I believe. We tried to get him on the show a couple times, but that man has a busy, busy schedule. Now, Rachel, this is your division. You had 2 new teams in it, and
We
from
did.
what you sounded like is all the teams were happy. I mean, obviously, you guys would have been a little happier if somebody was able to beat the Wheat Kings when it mattered in the finals, but it doesn't always happen. So kudos to your division for having 2 more, taking the travel, and I'm guessing no negative comments. They didn't sound like they were running away from you.
No, we had I've spoken with everybody pretty routinely, and I think the general vibe was like everyone was cool. Iowa played a doubleheader at our rink, and everyone kind of just like hung out between and had a chat. And we, like I said, we went out to the bar with Omaha after our games there. And yeah, the community building, the vibes were high, as the boys like to say. So I thought it was a great addition. I'm hoping we could maybe even pull a few more.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love seeing the growth. But so this is the division we were talking about earlier. Probably the most parity in the league as far as nobody was undefeated. It's back and forth. Cambridge had a great season though. I think they only lost once, right? Maybe twice, but no, huge.
Yeah,
What was that, Nate? Sorry.
yeah, they only lost once.
Yeah, so in the Rhode Island Rampage, so that's what probably the farthest drive for them has got to be Maine to Rhode Island. And I mean, anywhere to Maine, if you're from up, the Northeast, Maine is just a trudge. You got to just drive through like every other state that seems to have everything in it and get up to Maine. So they have. I do say though, Mrs. James brought us food. So if anybody wants any brownie points, we definitely are bribed with. I like pastries and pizzas, not so much vegetables, but flour and all the good stuff. But the Pacific Northwest, so had a chance to talk with the Tacoma Tritons guy. He is an absolute blast. Love what he's doing up there. Dave,
He's fantastic. Like, I'm so glad that you got a chance to have him on the podcast, because we talked to him at the beginning of the season. He took over leadership of that team and he's doing such good things in the community and with the team. So I'm thrilled that they were able to kind of pull through their rocky period, and I think they're going to thrive. So I'm so glad you got a chance to speak with him.
yeah, if anybody didn't get a chance to check that one out, that's definitely a great episode. I think it was 2 weeks ago, but he an absolute gem. He also runs that Pacific Northwest Indigenous Lacrosse, I think is what it is. So I had
Yep.
talked to him several times through there just because I like a lot of the content he does. So like I'd shoot him messages. So then when I found out he was the Tritons GM, I was like, oh wait, we've already. I mean, not actually met, but we've talked before. So, surprise, surprise, this super big, very small lacrosse family, as Nate has told me, like it doesn't take you very long before you start learning who a lot of these guys are. So the South Atlantic, this looks like the Reapers are doing it again. And honestly, I wonder how they're going to travel, because I know there's a lot of us that vacation to that area. So that's really not a bad drive, 10, 12 hours, depending on where you're from in Charlotte.
I am surprised at the number of teams that are choosing to drive. And some of them are like buckling in for the long haul, but I think it's more than we've had in the past that are planning like minivan caravans and such.
It's
So
because we've
it'll be
got 90,
interesting.
yeah, we've got 95 that runs up and down our coast, and everybody, we're very spoiled. And if you live in New York, you are very spoiled, because like every time you get out of New York, you're like, oh, these highways suck. Yeah, but we pay a lot in taxes, but our roads are, I will challenge pretty much every state in the country that our interstate system is hands down the best one in the country. It's always very well maintained. You get a little bit of traffic here and there, but you really appreciate it after, like, I just did a week in New Jersey, and I'm like, oh my God, every time I come back, I'm like, it's not even close.
I'm home.
Yeah.
Wonderful, dude.
As soon as I get across the border. So the Southeast, had a chance to talk with the Atlians. That was fun. Learned I've been pronouncing their name wrong for 2 years now, so sorry about that, guys. But what a cool team. Like, yeah, I honestly love getting I think I have the best gig with everybody getting to talk to all these guys. But the Nashville Ignite, able to come out of that one again. Tim is not going to be on the show again until after Nationals. We're kind of giving him some time off to get ready for Nationals. I do want to talk to the Queen City Steamboats. That is an amazing logo. So I'm going to have to into Shiners.
They're very cool dudes.
Yeah, everybody. I should just do a trip. You guys need to fundraise a trip for us to drive around. And so another one of these divisions where everybody is pretty much drivable. Nate, what's the farthest trip? It's got to be you to Seneca Lake, maybe? Or
Yeah, I would say so.
yeah,
Yeah, Seneca Lake.
what is that? 3 hours probably from Watertown.
Uh, a little less. I mean, it's 2:45, something like that. So, but yeah, and then my guys from north have to travel further. So
Well, the pain for them is
long
where
way.
they get across the border, because if you either got to kind of come back and get across, or drive past it and come back. So yeah, no good way to
Yeah.
go. Anybody who's familiar with the border, but I bet you we've got a ton of people in here watching to see how this pool plays out. So I'm going to read a little blurb that I have, and then we're going to go from there. So the play-in format is, there are no pools this year. Everyone is going to play 3 round robin games. Round robin games are 4 10-minute quarters with running time. Stop time will be in the last 2 minutes as long as the score is within 3 goals. So does that mean 3 goals or less, or does that mean only 1 or 2 goals and 3 it's still running? I'm guessing 3 or less, right?
3 or less.
Gotta be 3 or less.
Perfect. So I thought so, but I love these shows leading up to it because next week we're gonna have Dave on with the he kind of gives us the officials review, and we're gonna get to chance to talk with Rich. So any of your social media ideas that you guys want to do there, Rich Hodge is the guy to talk to. He will be running all that stuff. He'll have little questions and fun stuff. We'll get that next week. So sorry I was off, but no, as the rest of it, we're mainly just going to draw those. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the teams in order of basically the unofficial power rankings, where we're going to pick the Wild's first game, then we're going to pick the Spirits first game, and I have to write this all down so I don't lose track of it, because the only way we could do it all with one wheel really easily without having to do it a million times was if I don't take the team names off. So in order for us to keep that going, I actually did prepare. I got a little homework as far as I had a pencil and a paper. Every once in a while, I do pay a little bit of attention. So, Minnesota Wild's first game will be.
No, that's hockey.
Oh, gee, Westminster Wild. Sorry, the Westminster Wild's first game is going to be against the Grizzlies.
I would like to say that I have no input on who plays who. Greg is touching all the buttons, and I didn't have anything to do with it.
No. All I needed was the format. So our first winner is the Grand Rapids Grizzlies, which is how that worked. But so then next is going to be Nathan Jobson's team with the Thousand Island Spirits. All right, Nate, if you have to take a random pick on this wheel, which team do you think we're going to land on? I'm not saying which team do you want to play. Just take a pick as to which one you think you're going to land on.
It's okay. Whoever it is whoever it is.
All right. Oh, and he's playing the Firecocks with the Nashville Ignite.
Timmy.
So that is going to be a great first game. Everybody getting in fresh.
Maybe you can get Tim
we
to
didn't play them
freeze
last year. We didn't play them last year.
You didn't get a chance to play them at all, so that's awesome. That's
no, so they ended up in our pool, but for some reason we didn't end up playing them. We played the other 2 teams.
Aha. So that's one cool part about this format as well, that everybody's going to definitely get to play everybody. So now we've got the Seattle Kings with Dave Mather's team. I'm guessing still on the bubble for Team USA. Hopefully we'll find out. And Dave Mather's first game cannot be them because they're playing their first game against the Ignite already. This is the only thing I was afraid was going to happen, and we might end up not doing it this way through the whole time, but we're going to give it a try.
Oh,
Yeah, like
Max is
I'm
scared.
already playing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't think this wheel was going to work like this. But
I thought you were just going to pick like groups of 3 and then a group of 4 or something.
no. That was
There you go.
So now the Seattle they're playing. They're ready too.
Let me tell you that no matter what format we do, everybody hates it.
Everybody hates
So,
it.
yeah.
No, it's perfect however it's done.
As long as everybody's playing. Yeah, okay. So we're going back to my way of doing it, where we're going to remove the teams from now on. So, Spirits, you've got your first game. Grand Rapids Grizzlies, you've got your first game. Who else we got? Ignite.
Nashville.
Night.
And
Westminster.
The Wild. Where are they? Right there.
Yeah,
So,
and then you're going to eliminate their own team?
Yeah, I need to get rid of the Kings because we don't want them playing themselves. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. I've done some silly things from time to time. That's why I'm glad I've got some adult supervision on this podcast.
We're here to help.
Okay, so they are playing the Collar City Kings.
Don't say it.
It's
Don't say it.
okay, so we're definitely not gonna say what it is, and since the so now
It's a game between Seattle and Collar City.
The Wheat Kings are up next. Another Kings team, and they will be playing the Reapers, which
Oh
leaves.
my gosh, they end up playing Charlotte all the time. Those two are just destined.
Yes. So the Wheat Kings are playing the Reapers, which leaves
And then
us
the
with the Scorpions. Yeah, so that'll leave us with the Scorpions playing Cambridge.
All right.
All right.
Now you have to put everybody back.
Yeah, but it's easier than I think I let on when I first talked to Tim, because I hadn't played with this thing since last year when we did it. But I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be able to click and drag every team into it. and then we can just start
Oh, this
over
is
again.
fun. Oh,
So,
look at that.
Perfect.
just like that. Now I've got it repopulated,
Yeah,
and
good quick.
we're going to start with the Wild again since they were number 1. So let's get rid of their entry since Nate was smart enough to remind me we should do that. And actually, we should have gotten rid of the Grizzlies too since that was their first game. It's going to land on them, isn't it? Oh, no, it
Nope.
doesn't. It goes to the Seattle Kings. So the Seattle Kings will be playing their second game against the Wild. So now I need to get rid of them. And did I not get rid of somebody? All
We
right.
have to get rid of my team.
Now I got to get rid of you. And now we see who you are playing. Oh, the Cambridge Nor'easters, it looks like. Oh, wait, still. Yeah, there it is. So they are now playing the Cambridge Nor'easters, which means their second game is you.
Sounds like you're doing a great job over there, bud.
Way more complicated than I thought it was going to be at first, but we're making it do. Plus, we can always
I think you're doing great.
rewatch this. So next up was the Seattle Kings, and they're already out. So we're going to go with the Collar Kitties, or Collar Kitty, the Collar.
Isn't Minneapolis?
No,
They finished
that's what I was just going to. So it's the Wheat Kings. So we're going with the Wheat Kings next, but I need to get rid of them since they can't play themselves. And the Wheat
I was
Kings.
trying to look at the chat, but I can't see it. Oh, there we go.
Kings are playing the Scorpions. It's going to be. I thought it was going to be the Grand Rapids team, but ends up with Austin. So they're gone. So then after the Wheat Kings, we have the Ignite left. So let's take him out. And he will be playing the Grand Rapids Grizzlies. That's a tough draw as well. So the Ignite Grizzlies.
And then who's left with the Reapers?
That's the Reapers and the Collar City Kings.
Okay. These are interesting matchups so far.
It's going to be a very interesting, and so essentially, the way this breaks down is everybody plays, and then they get seeded based on how these 3 games all turn out. Is that correct? I believe.
Yeah, and we'll release the schedule. We have a pre-nationals meeting that our 10 teams are required to attend. Nothing dramatic, just to make sure everybody's on the same page with expectations.
I've actually asked to be invited on that as well, just because I like to anybody who's got some fancy pronunciations like Gunnarson. That's not a super easy name to say.
That's how I say it.
See, that's why I screw it up all the time. So I definitely need some help with that. But also, more than that, I would like if any team has somebody who maybe you've got an older guy who's been around box lacrosse for a while, knows your program, send him up and we'll try to talk to him in between, maybe some of the periods or whatnot. But we're trying to capture as many of these guys as we can because what I'm finding more and more is that none of this stuff gets captured. So when guys are talking about, these old programs and so much of it is lost. Oh, wait, I didn't remove the Wild. Let's see if they land
on themselves.
No, the Wild are now playing the Ignite. So their first 3 games.
Yeah, so the schedule will be posted, and all of this will be communicated with the teams that are competing first before we send it out into the world. So they'll have a chance to get the schedules. We know that travel is an issue for those that are flying for sure. So the accessibility of the facility is a little bit of an issue that we are sensitive to. So the teams will get a chance to see the schedule before anyone else will.
Amazing.
But it'll
be put out with everybody. Yes, that way it'll go through. So Nate, this is your spin, and it looks like you are playing the Charlotte Reapers. You're not playing them yet, right?
Nope. Nashville,
Cambridge. Yeah, Cambridge, and then Charlotte.
The whole East Coast.
Yes, you are staying East Coast dominant.
I mean, Nashville's in the center pretty much.
He is in my time zone.
Yeah, you
Yes.
guys are all weird. That's what I had to, Rachel, there's only one time zone that actually matters. I'm not sure how you didn't get the memo, but like all
What?
important things happen on the East Coast time zone, so the whole world should just be set to that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be confusing at all.
It would be
Now
so
we
much
get
easier.
rid of Seattle.
So now, yes, I was just going to say Seattle. Perfect. We're in agreement. We must be right.
Right? Were they third last year?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow! Look at
Oh,
that.
this is just
That's
the Kings.
ironic. That's ironic.
Oh, the Wheat Kings. So Seattle is playing the Collar City Kings and the Wheat Kings and the Wild. So that's their 3 games. And then next on the list is the Wheat Kings, who were just scratched off, the Ignite, who are already gone. So then we
Probably
go to
Grand
Grand
Rapids,
Rapids.
or
Yep,
yeah.
Grand Rapids. And let's see who Grand Rapids is playing.
I'm feeling Scorpions.
Yeah.
Austin it is. So the Grizzlies playing the Scorpions. All right, so the Grizzlies are playing the Scorpions, and they are playing the Nashville Ignite. And where is the other Grizzlies? I'm missing one. I'll catch up with that one later. But as long as we've done them all, it should be good. There's a chance I didn't
You
write
did.
one of them down. I just don't remember where it was. Yeah, we'll find it. So that leaves the last game for the Collar City Kings and the Cambridge Nor'easters. Yeah, this is, you know what? It's a little hectic trying to figure it out, but
This was fun.
nobody can say that, it was picked in a favoritism. You guys got to see
Schedule's
me.
going to be the hard part.
Yeah, well, thankfully
I've
nobody
touched no buttons.
nobody ever asked me to do the scheduling. When they said I could pick the randomized thing, so basically nobody could be blamed for it, I was like, "Oh, that's amazing. Tell me the format. Just tell me what the rules are. I love this stuff." So we did a giveaway today on our channel with the same thing. It's the wheelofnames.com. If you ever need it for anything, you can put it in.
That's great.
Yeah, we literally had like 300 entries we had to put in for this donation thing we did, though. It wasn't quite that many. It was 100 and it was like 180 something entries that we ended up with, though. So we raised a bunch of money for this young man, and that was cool. And we got to play with this wheel thing earlier. I tried doing the Instagram from my chest. Terrible idea. Next time I'm just going to multi-stream it through my OBS system. That'll never happen again. But yeah, so the Nationals are set. Rachel,
Yes.
as the director, what is the biggest thing you would like to see from the teams at Nationals? Is it probably like just each other hanging out, getting to know each other a little more? Or what is it?
The community is absolutely like that. That's the best part. Like, I don't get me wrong. I do love to watch a good game of box lacrosse, or what am I doing here? But just I have gotten to know some of the coolest people, and like the value of a well-evolved man in my life cannot be overstated. Like the ones that are supportive and that see value in somebody so typically non-traditional to be running a men's sports league. Like I love those dudes. And I've gotten like so many cool stories, and even talking to the fans, talking to coaches, to the refs, like that's just the best part for me, is just getting to know people from all over the country, just bonded over this thing that everybody loves. So I'm excited to see good lacrosse. But I'm really excited to just be with the people.
Absolutely. Now, Nate, I'm guessing you're expecting this year to be able to win the championship, or else why would you even be bothered traveling there? I would honestly expect all of the top 10 teams to tell me when they are going out there that each one of them is expecting to win it. But so you going out there for your second year, what do you think the biggest thing that you guys will be doing differently, or as far as trying to maybe adjustments, or is it just going out there playing Spirits Lacrosse and that's it?
Yeah, I mean, we have a different formula this year than last year, and it seems to be working when the games count. We had a couple close games, and we've had some other ones. But the team is different, and it's built a little different. My coaches are different. The just the effort and energy and commitment level is slightly different, believe it or not. Last year, obviously, my guys were on board. We traveled with everybody. We'll be traveling as heavy, this year. Picking up a couple guys and, trying to finish what we started last year, Westminster's obviously a great team. They haven't lost a game in this league since it started, so they have a bigger target on their back than we do. We just got to get through the seeding games, and whatever seed we are, we're pretty confident that, whoever we play is who we play.
Absolutely.
And anybody's just
Yeah.
a stone on a path to what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. You do you, and the rest of it should take care of itself. So as we look at this, I've got a comment in the chat. We had a couple of them coming from the Utica Yeti, but he is 100% right that the Igloo is one of the best facilities in the world. It's amazing. His question is about the ladies division. Rachel, can you give us an update, or should I wait till next week when I'm talking to the guys and we might have a little more info?
I can tell you, like, we're running into some struggles, and I believe that, like, proximity to Worlds, like, we tried it in hopes that there would be people there that would, like, want those warm-up games. We're not, like, giving up. We're still working on some things. So
it may just
I
be an
know,
exhibition like Lax and I was for the first year with the women's, where you only had
for
enough.
sure.
You had a bunch of women, but you didn't really have a bunch of organized teams. So the Lady Yeti are there. Maybe we'll just get an exhibition with another team. It's still in the works. It's nothing is solidified yet, we'll say.
Yeah, well, we're not putting it to bed. Like, we will continue to help build the women's game. I started some in Minnesota, and, like, they're so excited. Oh my gosh, like, they picked it up so fast. They caught on to drills so quickly. Like, some of them had never had a stick with a pocket. Like, they'd never played with a boy's stick, and the drill
That's cool to
work
watch
that
it,
they
isn't
were
it, though?
able. Oh my gosh,
When
that
they
was
all of a
so
sudden
impressive.
realize how well they can handle the ball when they like make their first like dodge around somebody and like take the full contact, but it's like, oh wait, that's still on my stick. I really still have that. Yeah, I got to
Yeah.
watch a bunch of young women do it in Utica once. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah, so I don't think we're done with this at all. We took a little bit of a gamble being so close to Worlds. So um the teams around the country, a good number of them have had women either practicing with them or playing with them in preparation for their World Games. It's sparked a lot of interest in a lot of communities. Gear is a big hurdle, but we're working with some agencies to help get gear. Like, I just loan gear out.
Yeah,
So
that's
that they
something I
can
didn't even
come
think
buy
about
it.
though, because women have no gear. At least most of the men. I mean, you need some bicep pads and rib pads, but for the most
Yeah.
part, if you play lacrosse, you can go out. I mean, they need everything, helmet, sticks, gloves. Yeah, that is that's something I didn't really think about. But you guys, doing what you do, providing people an opportunity to play. So you're not giving up on it. You might not have a full division, but you will definitely have something there to try to provide these women with a chance to play.
Yes. And it's actively being worked on. And I foresee it continuing to grow. So it might be something like an exhibition. Everyone that's involved has been pretty receptive to, like, whatever we can do to play. Like, we just want to play. So we're taking free agents in from wherever to come in and take in the tournament and play when they can play. And we'll, like I said, we'll continue to build it. We'll continue to support it. Like, in our wildest dreams, we've got a women's division right alongside our men's division.
Right.
So
But for now, it's just kind of as many people as you can get to sign up. You're going to show up and kind of divide up some teams and provide an
we're gonna make it
opportunity.
happen.
Right. You're going to make sure that people have a chance to play, which is amazing. I think Steve's trying to get you to put your glasses on to read some of the comments, but
Me?
yeah. Yeah, so Nate, I will let you. One thing I would like to say though, Nate, is I would like your kind of perspective of being a GM, going from the player. I know we've talked about this on a couple other podcasts, but now you're in year 3. You got your second year of GMing under your belt. What did you notice difference from that first year to the second year of being a GM?
Well, this year I only played a couple games too, So like this year I focused more on the GMing side, where last year I played pretty much every game and GM'd. And I tell you, last year felt easier than this year, which is weird. Because at the home games and things like that, you don't, I'm playing. I can't worry about some of the stuff. And I was fortunate to have, I have a village up here helping me out, family, friends, local folks in the community. Like, so last year was almost easier as a player than this year has been more focused on the GM side. It's weird. Like I know you haven't caught one of my home games this year, I don't think. But
No,
the
unfortunately, I
guys in the
only
crowd,
watch. Yeah, I can
yeah,
hear the crowd
I
though when you.
ran more. I ran more as a GM on the sideline than I did when I played. So like just making sure everybody's happy and the events go well. It's all about the kids and the people and the experience. And and like from last year nationals to this year, the format in year one was okay. Last year's format was really well done. And I that's similar, I assume, to what we're doing this year. So like that's exciting that we kind of have something that's locked in, that'll work, that'll be consistent. So that part's going to be easy. It's just it's exciting. It's pretty cool, man. And the tournament's awesome, and the fact that it's in Utica is unreal to me. And it is a great facility. You guys will not be. You're gonna wonder why you go anywhere else after you go here. Honestly, it's even the players. I mean, it's gonna be tough to want to play anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, so
That's
it
what
is.
I'm afraid of.
I mean, honestly, for me, we could do it there every year. I think it would be great. But Nate, I was going to say it's kind of fitting for you to have the team here. I mean, so much of your lacrosse career has been focused in the Utica, I mean Syracuse area. You started
Yeah,
playing box, what, with the Stingers and Neil Powlis and all those guys. Then you got to play with them again with the Yeti, and then kind of full circle. You've still
yeah,
you got a couple of the guys you're going to nationals with.
yeah. I've been playing lacrosse in Utica since 2001. When I graduated high school, I'm an old man. I played at Utica. Well, it's university now, but it
It's
was
only a
Utica
year older
College.
than me.
We're old men. Um,
I don't
and
want to
you
talk
get
about
it
it.
too, because you went to MVCC, which is in Utica too. So like I had a decent career in Utica College and playing there, and I finished, I think, second all time. I'm second all time right now in assists, and fifth or sixth on the list all time. Like Utica has a place in my heart that that's why I have navy blue and orange in my logo, is because Utica, like the university that we're going to be playing at. So like that's a huge reason why I got my brother in my life when I was a sophomore in college in Utica. It's really, really special to me. It's kind of hard to put in words. It's surreal that things are coming full circle, and if we can do what we're trying to do, it'll be the cherry on top, and that's the hope.
Yeah, and it's funny for me. So I met Paul in Utica 20 years ago, and well, over 20 years ago now. We are slightly getting older, but so I played college hockey in the Nexus forever. So yeah, it is kind of funny to see this coming around full circle. So
Yeah, it's awesome.
as a hockey guy, walking into the Nexus is a little different. I wish that was there when I was there. The odd was amazing, and I mean, if nobody's seen Slapshot, do yourself a favor and watch Slapshot on your way over. It's a solid Central Western New York themed movie with the kind
Yeah.
of trials and tributes. You guys want to know what it's like playing in the Upstate Division? Watch Slapshot. It's not quite that, but the
Yeah.
backyard banter is there, and I promise you that the locker rooms are just as entertaining, if not more entertaining, than some of the Slapshot. But we are already 10 minutes over our timeline, guys. We're supposed to try to keep this to
Oh, it's crazy.
45 minutes, but thank
We
you
never
so.
do.
No, not even close. Nate, it's been an absolute privilege. Thank you so much. Love what you're doing up there. I love the spirit wall that you've got behind you. Like I said, I think that is it really adds a touch to your team that kind of sets your team apart from others. I say it all the time. It's I think it really ties the spirit of the game to what you're doing now. Rachel, thank you for stepping up and taking the director job. Everybody thinks these jobs are easy. Everybody likes to talk a lot of crap, but there's not a lot of people who step up and take these positions and answer all these emails. So, of course, any questions, email Rachel. No, anything. If you guys
Email
do have
Rachel.
any comments, though, seriously, if you do email any of the executives in the league, any of the board members, they are great at getting to you. You can understand if they maybe don't get back to you until after this meeting, but attend the meeting if you're one of the 10 teams. If you have questions about the way things planned out, send an email. Don't complain until you send an email to them. Get an answer. You see a lot of guys like to say things, but I promise you, if you write to them within a day or two, they will get back to you with an answer. It's usually that simple.
I strive to be fair to a fault. I think I probably frustrate some guys who would just be like, just answer. And I was like, well, I need to take in all the perspectives first. So not perfect, but I definitely strive to be as fair as I can possibly be in all of our dealings. And we've had some doozies over the 3 years. Like I said at the beginning, there is always an opportunity to learn every season, whether you wanted it or not.
Absolutely. Safe travels to all. And Nate, I will let you close it out with where you're going to see everybody.
What's that?
I figured you're going to say see you on the other side, but I was trying to lead it into it. I thought it could have been cool like we practiced this, but no, it's all right, Nate. You ruined it. You soiled it. So now just say goodbye.
Sorry, buddy. I had no idea.
He's like, what? I don't know what we're doing.
He always puts it. He puts it on the end of all of his.
See you on the other side, which is true. We will.
Proud sponsor of the
2023 National Championship and your upstate NABLL champions, the Thousand Island Spirits.
Everyone at Skiffs, The Corner, and 1864 would like to wish the Thousand Island Spirits the best of luck at Nationals. It's been a blast having the team as part of our downtown family this season. Don't worry, boys, we'll keep the champagne on ice. Fans, next time you are in Alexandria Bay, New York, please visit one of these fine restaurants. Proud sponsor of the
2023 National Championship and your upstate NABLL champions, the Thousand Island Spirits.
Everyone at Skiffs, The Corner, and 1864 would like to wish the Thousand Island Spirits the best of luck at Nationals. It's been a blast having the team as part of our downtown family this season. Don't worry, boys, we'll keep the champagne on ice. Fans, next time you are in Alexandria Bay, New York, please visit one of these fine restaurants. Proud sponsor of the
2023 National Championship and your upstate NABLL champions, the Thousand Island Spirits.
Everyone at